6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for joining me on the next episode of Get Funk, Not Your Average Wrestling Podcast. So I had about 5 guys lined up here earlier today. 2 of them canceled on me. One of them's a retard, don't know how to work the internet. I'm not going to mention any names, Kid Romeo. And Reno's having trouble with his house getting renovated, and he can't get on the internet. So I got one guy, but it's worth the wait, everybody, because this guy really doesn't do these interviews anymore and stuff. So, I'm glad to have him. So luckily his wife, Jen, is a hell of an internet guru, and she got him online. She's getting him beer and all that good stuff. So we're going to have him on here in a minute. But first, I got to get to my sponsors, the guys that are paying the bills. So let's have a shout out here for sleeps.com. Now, if you or anybody in your family is an athlete, have them check out sleeps.com. Don't forget to use your code MWAPOD. You'll get a 10% discount. Now, you can go on here. You can get anything from wrestling, MMA, football, baseball, basketball, whatever your sporting needs are. You can get mouthpieces. You got dirty boxers, arm sleeves, knee pads, mouth guards, headgear, whatever you want. So check them out. Sleeps.com, code MWAPOD. You get 10% courtesy of the MWA Podcast Network. Also, if you're into vaping, but you're in a healthy lifestyle, check out healthvape.com. Also, you can put in code MWAPOD, get your 10% discount. These products here are all natural. There's no nicotine, and there's no harmful chemicals in these products. So I always say it's like if you drink Red Bull and you like Red Bull, try a health vape. It's like smoking a Red Bull, give you energy, and you got vitamins. So check them out, healthvape.com, code MWAPOD for your 10% discount. So now that we got, I still see nobody else joined us, so it's going to be just me and my boy here. I'm actually excited to have him on the show. I've been wanting to get him on here for a long time. I know he was supposed to go hunting today, but he took his day off of hunting just to join us on the podcast. So let's welcome one of the greatest cruiserweights in WCW history, the new inductee into the WCW Power Plant Hall of Fame, none other than Evan Karagias. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Allan. Thanks, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, yeah. I wish I would have just drove up to Charlotte and done this live from your house, man. That way I could have had your wife get 2 beers instead of 1. Because,
right.
Now I got to go get my own damn beer now,
There'll be days like that, man, but I'm not that far away.
But listen, Evan, I want to say thank you. I appreciate your time. You coming on here after you could have went hunting all day today, but you decided not to do my podcast, and I really do appreciate that.
No, man, I'd do anything for you, Allan. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man, that's cool, man. So you're a big hunter, obviously. We'll talk about that before if you want to talk about hunting.
Okay, sure.
So, but you haven't got no big deer yet this year?
Man, I tell you, I haven't got any big deer because my kids are killing them all. My son shot 2 10-pointers this year, so Dad's out there hunting, and then they go out 1 or 2 times and knock them down.
So we'll just attribute that to your good scouting and then letting your kids have the first shot.
Yeah, well, I scouted one of them. They scouted the other one, so I give them credit.
So now you taught your kids how to field dress and everything, all that good stuff?
Yeah, we did that, and I'll tell you though, I used to do it all the time. I don't now. I've got a guy that I do his taxes, so he works and he helps me out with that for me.
Okay, I got you. So you don't get your hands dirty anymore?
Nah, not if I don't have to. It depends on where I'm at. Now, if I'm far enough in where I don't want to carry it out, but yeah, no, this guy's got a processing company. That's what they do, so he takes care of me.
I got you. So it's been kind of warm in Charlotte though. So when you get a deer, I mean, you got to get that thing, taken care of pretty fast, or it's going to spoil on you, right?
Oh yeah, you got to take it right then. Although this week, I think it's supposed to be in the 20s, which is rare, for here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be that cool down here in Atlanta.
Yeah, but I mean the lows as far as that. The highs are going to be somewhere, I think, in the 50, 55. I'm not sure.
Well, that's a little better than 75 while you're hunting.
Yeah. Listen, man, it gets hot when hunting season starts. It's 95 degrees some days or 90 degrees, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the snakes are out. That's I'm not going in the woods when the snakes are still out.
It takes the fun away from it, that's for sure.
So, because up in Charlotte, especially down here in Atlanta, man, we got a lot of copperheads and freaking water moccasins. And my biggest fear in life is snakes. I hate snakes.
I know. Hey, I'm hearing in Georgia though, there's some places where the rattlesnakes don't even necessarily rattle anymore because they've somehow learned that the wild hogs, when they hear that rattle, they come and eat them.
Wow.
Because the bites don't affect the hogs.
Damn.
They don't have a nervous system. So
I got you.
Yeah,
well, I don't like them damn hogs either. They're starting to get pretty bad down here in the Atlanta area.
That's what I hear, man.
So, yeah, I didn't know about the rattlesnakes not being able to, or they figured out how to not rattle. That's kind of scary.
That's what they say. Yep.
Dude, when I see a snake, I don't care what kind of snake it is. I'm going the other way. I don't care if it's non-poisonous or not. Either I'm going to shoot at it or I'm going the other way.
Yeah. No, if it's poisonous, it's got to go.
So, well, in Atlanta, it's illegal. Well, it's against the law to kill a non-poisonous snake, but I'm not getting close enough to tell you whether it's poisonous or not. I'm just shooting at it.
Right.
So,
I hear you.
But yeah, man, I guess that's part of hunting. And my brother, I'm from Ohio, so there's a few poisonous snakes up there, but not like down here in Atlanta.
Right. No, Ohio's got some good hunting, man. Some big bucks down there. Or up there, and they say it's something to do with the soil. They used to mine lime or something up there, and that's what makes their horns.
Oh yeah. That's good for the horns, right? But I told you, I think I told you the other day, my brother shot a 200-pound doe, so you can imagine what some of the bucks look like.
Yeah, that's a big doe, man.
And I think that was after he even dressed it out and he hung it up in his garage. He could hardly pull the damn thing over the rafters and hang it up there and let it dry out a little bit.
Wow.
So, but that's
sometimes here they'll have a contest like who can bring in the biggest doe, and if you want to be in it, you drop a $10 bill or whatever it is. It used to be 5 or 10 back in the days.
Yeah.
And there'd be a couple hundred people putting in, and everybody's rushing for the last day who can bring the biggest doe in.
So what was the biggest doe?
I don't remember, man. It was back then. I really don't. It's been a while, but it was. But the pot was what was big. I mean, there'd be enough money, you win $1,000 or more.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun little thing, because down here you can get overpopulated with the does.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of cool. Get a little incentive to hit you a doe and get you some money.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, okay. So one of the main reasons I want to have you on here, I on my podcast here, I've been talking about this. There's an anonymous committee that started this WCW Power Plant Hall of Fame, which is great for all of us because it's brought me together with guys that I hadn't talked to in a while. And same with the podcast. I've been able to interview guys on the podcast. Ice Train, you remember him? Sarge, a couple other Lodi guys that I've been able to, congratulate them on getting their Hall of Fame induction into the. It's not an actual hall, but of course, neither is the WWE or Hall of Fame. They don't actually have a hall, but hopefully one day we'll work on that. And I've been working with a committee. They've been sending me emails and stuff to get it out on my podcast. So that was one of the main reasons that I was one of the main guys trying to get this out there. So, and a lot of the guys are kind of scared because it's they're using the WCW name and they're afraid WWE is going to do something with it. But I don't really care. If they do, then we'll just quit saying it's WCW and just call it the Power Plant Hall of Fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but I'll tell you, man, I love the situation here because I look at my kids for an example, and I go, man, their generation is so different than ours.
Oh yeah.
And even the youngest one seems a little bit different than the rest of the other three.
Yeah.
Well, in this situation, it's like we're a different generation than the old school, but the new guys now, it's even totally different. And we could even break it down into heel and babyface if you wanted. But this group that we're talking about, the Hall of Famers of the Power Plant, it's like it's good that everybody's coming back together, happy to be talking to people instead of being like they're too damn good or
better than the business.
Yeah. Forget the business on that side, man. This is, I'm happy to talk to you, man. I mean, I love talking to you, especially, not even online, but, on the phone and stuff. So it's a good thing.
Oh yeah. So you got inducted, and shoot, I was going to pull up the. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody on this list. I got a list here of the guys that were nominated in November, and you're part of that group. Which I didn't realize this, but they sent me a list. I'm actually on the group, and I didn't know that because I usually announce it, and I think I think I'm not sure, but I think maybe Dale told Rick to tell me on this podcast. But they went ahead and sent me the list, and I think they screwed up by sending me the list, the updated list.
So congratulations to you too.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, dude. I think it's fucking great because, you know, not to mention, the people that back in the day saw remember the history of pro wrestling when they came down there and did all the power plant stuff, and there was all that controversy with how everything was run down there and the 1,500 squats a day and them beating the crap out of you. You couldn't get away with that now. They couldn't even get away with it on WWE's Tough Enough, where their warm up or our warm up was like more brutal than the stuff they went through.
If I'm not sure how long you were behind me on the, at the power plant.
Yeah, I came in July of '98.
Okay, but I know when we were there, we obviously stretched at first, and then we had 3 hours that we did, and they didn't say it like that. It was just that's what it ended up being for the most part. They put the 5-gallon buckets behind us, and we did 50 squats, 25 push-ups, 50 squats, 25 push-ups for 3 hours. And if you could stop to throw up in the bucket or go home.
Yeah.
And dude, my legs have never, ever been so gassed.
No
I remember sitting in the bathtub with ice just full because thinking, how in the hell am I even going to go the next day and make it?
We all been there.
Yeah, man. So it's brutal, man. And that's what made us into the big boys.
Oh yeah, and that's where they got up that slogan, where the big boys train, and you couldn't have been any truer. But wasn't also just the big boys; it was the big your mental, your brain, what you had in your brain and your heart, and it kind of really didn't have anything to do with the size of your body, but it was kind of like where the big heart, the big brain is in. You know what I mean? So if you didn't have it in your heart and want it, you weren't going to make it through that tryout.
No, you had to be determined. That's for sure.
Yeah. So let me read the list here real quick, and then we'll talk about more. So it's got John Huger, which was Johnny the Bull, Chuck Palumbo, which he had to cancel on us today because he had something come up family wise. Myself, Rick Cornell, which was Reno, Mike Sanders, Kid Romeo, Mark Jindrak, yourself, Evan Karagias, and then Horseshoe and what was his real name? Wise, right?
Yeah, Matt Weezy.
Matt Weezy. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they want to also honor Daphne. She passed away a couple months ago. So that's the list for November. And to me, that's a pretty damn good list.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are some, definitely some, everybody's been there and done it, man, and grinded through it.
Yeah. So, when I first started this podcast, I talked a lot about a power plant because it got me to where I got into WCW. And without the power plant, I don't know which other route I would have took to get in WCW. Yeah. So some people might get tired of me talking about it, which I don't really care because some people get tired of talking about it because they couldn't make it through it and they don't want to hear about how hard it was because they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Do you remember how many guys tried out when you did?
Yeah, there was about 30, I think, and basically I'm the only one that made it on TV from the 30. Now there was 2 other guys that made it through the tryout, but they never done anything after the tryout.
Wow.
So
see, the first time I did it, or the first day, I remember there was like close to 100 people there.
Yeah,
lined up, and but I think 60 of them were gone within the first 2 hours.
Yeah, and that's you're probably being nice about 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and there was some big bodybuilders in there too, but I don't know what they expected, but man,
I tell you, the big guys are always the ones that goes out the fastest. Because they got no freaking cardio whatsoever. And I trained a little bit to do cardio to get to the power plant, but there is no amount of cardio. Even like if you were getting ready for an MMA fight, training MMA, I don't even know if that cardio would do it through them tryouts.
Right. It's different, man. But I'll tell you, I was, I had just come out of wrestling at NC State. Yeah. And I told you how my legs were just blown up. And I could barely walk. I had to make myself get through it, It was pure mental that pulled me through.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this. So after the tryout, man, the first day, I remember going back to the I got my rent a car because I flew down here from Ohio and stayed at the hotel right off of Howell Mill Road up where the old power plant was. It was called the Green Derby Restaurant. Do you remember that hotel? It was like a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
It was right off the exit. So there was across the street, there was a Kroger. So I remember pulling in the Kroger. I said, I got to get me some damn bananas because I'm cramping up so bad. I was going to buy some potassium, bananas, and some Epsom salt. So I remember when I opened up the car door, dude, it's July. It's freaking 100 degrees in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I fell right on my face in the parking lot. Couldn't even get up. I'm trying to pull myself up. I felt like such an idiot. Now, did anything like that happen with you?
No, man. I just remember like literally couldn't walk. I thought it like, dude, I thought I done fucked myself up. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah, I had so much lactic acid in my legs, man. I mean, it was unreal. That's the biggest thing I remember. And sitting in a tub that full of ice, man. And that's hard for you to make yourself get in it without somebody making you get in it.
That's right. Yeah.
But I knew there was no way I was going to be able to move the next day, and it wasn't easy even then.
Yeah. So, I'll tell you what I did, and I don't know, and I heard other guys might have did this too. So I'm literally couldn't even sit on the shitter. I tied a towel on the doorknob to lower myself to the shitter. And then that way I could pull it back up so I could use my arms instead of my legs. That's how bad it is.
Oh, I mean,
did you do something like that?
Collapsing's more like it. It's like, timber.
Dude. Yeah, it was brutal. And I remember on the phone with my fiance at the time, and I said, "Oh, go ahead."
I'll tell you another thing though that I remember brutal about it. After the first day, I guess just from not knowing how to hit the ropes, my lats were black. I mean,
black is your T-shirt, right?
Exactly, man.
That's how mine were.
Yeah, I mean, we used to hit those ropes, and it was rough, man. I mean, everything they did, and they had the 3 rings, so you take the big backdrop and hit the ropes and slide out and run to the next ring.
Yeah, you did. That was a gauntlet they called it. You remember?
Yeah.
And then in between that, I remember they had Prince IK was in my tryout with a couple other guys. And in between all that shit, you do the gauntlets, you do the squats, the push-ups, the sit-ups, and then they take you in the ring and beat the living shit out of you. At least they did with us.
Yeah.
Like they'd have a guy shoot on you like you'd be wrestling collegiate style. And then you do that for about 2-3 minutes with one guy. You'd get wore out with him. They'd throw another fresh guy in there. And they did that with like 5 or 6 different guys.
Yeah. See, I wrestled the first day, and then I didn't have to wrestle collegiate style because I didn't tell them I wrestled in college. So I was still okay, even without my legs, I'd take them down and go from there.
So nobody wanted to wrestle you.
Well, just, it was just a matter of respect, I guess,
Yeah. And they probably didn't like that shit at all, did they?
No. And who the first one I'd wrestle was Hard Body Harrison.
Oh, shit. So you got hit on top of him?
Yeah, he was just a big muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he didn't know how to wrestle.
Nah. But he don't know how to wrestle.
No, I think I heard though later on after WCW he started boxing or something, but I'm not sure about that.
Well, he started doing those. Well, he was doing those tough man contests that was on that FX channel.
Okay.
Yeah, so he actually won one year.
Good for him.
So he got whatever the prize. I think the prize like $25,000 or something.
Nice.
And he actually made it to the end and won.
Wow.
And then I think he kind of screwed himself because he challenged Lawrence Taylor to fight, and Hard Body, he just couldn't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah.
So yeah. But and he's in prison now. You know that, right?
Oh, really? I didn't know that either.
Yeah, he got popped in Atlanta here for a big prostitution ring, probably about 15 years ago or so.
Hey, that's why they say pimping ain't easy.
Shit, you got that right, because he can attest to that shit.
Yeah.
But I think he's coming up for parole. I think it's been like 15 years. I think it's been 13, and I think at 15 years he's up for parole.
Wow. Shit.
But he ended up going. He got remember that lawsuit that Sonny Ono was in with WCW and all those guys.
Vaguely, yeah.
So Hardbody was in on that, and from rumor has it he got about $1 million in that lawsuit.
What?
So then he bought like a bowling alley, he bought a bunch of stuff, he bought new wrestling rings, and he was, doing stuff to make money. So he was spending it. But also that's when he got nailed doing that prostitution ring where he had a bunch of women involved in that.
Damn.
And he tried to go to fucking the court and they asked him if he had a lawyer. He said, no, I'm representing myself. He didn't need a lawyer. So I think with that $1 million, I think I would have got a damn lawyer knowing I might be going to prison for a while.
Yeah.
But he wasn't that smart.
You just wonder if he still got the money put away. He might come out. You know,
You never know. He might come out and hell, he might be a freaking main eventer in WWE. Who the hell knows? So, yeah, man. So now the WCW power plant's got the rings. You already ordered your ring, right?
yeah.
So I can't wait to get my ring, man. I'm gonna wear it on all my podcasts and show it off.
No,
But-
it's sweet, man. It's beautiful. What's funny about it for me is my son just won the state championship last year in North Carolina for wrestling. So his ring just recently came in not too long ago, and he's all, walking around cocky, dad and all the time. And then when I get the text from you guys, I show him the ring, and he just looked at me, shook his head, like,
Yeah.
said,
Now,
keep working on, kid.
Does your ring look bigger than his, or how's that?
Big. His is big.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they both look like. I mean, and Dil Torberg said this. He's got 2 World Series rings from his baseball stuff.
Oh, really?
So, and he said the power plant ring means more to him than 2 World Series rings. So, that's saying something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's big.
So,
no doubt.
But it's just because of the hard work that was put into that, and the credit will never be.
Nobody,
in my eyes, nobody will ever, recognize you other than this. And to me, that's why I love this idea of this Power Plant Hall of Fame because, I mean, maybe you will, but I'll never get in the WWE Hall of Fame. And, so, me just having just them wanting me in the WCW Hall of Fame, man, out of the hundreds and thousands of people that tried out for that, and very few made it.
That's right. Actually, there was, I think in my group, there's only 2 of us that made it. And the one guy was straight up afterwards. He goes, "No, I don't want anything to do with it. I just wanted to finish so I didn't look like a quitter."
Oh, well, I mean,
he went back to Chicago, and I've never wrestled, man. Never seen him.
You don't remember his name?
No, I don't. I just remember he was a redheaded dude with a mohawk.
Well, you got to give that guy credit, man. If you didn't want to do anything with wrestling, you just stayed in there because you didn't want to quit. That's saying something about that guy.
Yeah, totally.
So, but anybody's ever made it through, man, it wasn't easy, and I don't give a shit, who was in your group or how many there were. Actually, if there's the more in there, the probably easier it was for you because they were concentrating all the guys dropping out, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was, I think when I started out, like I said, there was, like you said, 2 hours, probably 40 of them dropped out or whatever.
Yeah, I'm guessing 2 hours. I bet it was more than 40. I bet it was closer to half of them.
I bet within the first hour we were down to less than 10 guys.
Really?
Out of 30.
Yeah. But we had like 109. If I remember correctly, it was 109 guys in that camp.
And you know what I heard about the older classes, there was always more people in there because that was when they first started doing that, and there was more people trying to get into wrestling then.
Yeah, and back then, like when I was trying out, there was the guys that were running it too was Horseshoe, Johnny Green, there was some big. Chad Fortune was there, of course. What's the other guy's name? I'm just Scott Lorenzo, I believe.
Yeah, Lorenzo. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys that were monsters, man.
Yeah.
And there was another guy, Chip.
Chip Minton.
Yeah, did the bobsledding in the Olympics.
Yeah, dude, he was awesome. He was athletic as shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, they were huge guys too.
Chip's a minister now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's I follow him like on Instagram and stuff, and he's always doing good stuff with schools, and he's like a motivational speaker and that sort of thing.
That's cool.
So, I'd love to get a hold of him and get him on my podcast because he actually taught me a lot in the power plant, man, about doing he always taught me and Neil Skipper how to do like hip toss landing on our feet, backdrops landing on our feet and stuff.
Right.
Well, he was really athletic, so he could do all that stuff.
Yeah, he was for sure.
And he had some big old legs on him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Do you remember a guy down there named the Gambler?
I do remember the name, but I can't put the face right now.
Yeah, because I think he used to drive down from Chattanooga every day, and he did some Saturday night stuff, and I think he was on a deal. But he was always in there, real nice guy, but he was doing the Saturday night stuff a lot.
Okay.
I don't know if he went through your tryout or if he was in there or not.
No, not that I know of anyway.
I got you. So I remember the first time I ever got a chance to wrestle you. Do you remember that time?
Not really, man.
Come on, Evan, man. That was a big moment for me, man. You don't even remember?
Man, I'm going to tell you something, though. It's funny because, I see a lot of older guys talk about, I remember in the Houston Astrodome, that is one building I remember, but all these different buildings, man, I never remember any damn building.
See, I can tell you everywhere I wrestled everybody. And I'll tell you when I wrestled you was on a Saturday night. I was still Angry Allan Funk. we wrestled in Vail, Colorado. It was a
That's
Wednesday.
why I don't remember it. I was blown up.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. I was blown up too. And that was kind of, I wrestled the first big match I had on WCW Saturday night was Kaz Hayashi when he had the Cruiserweight belt.
Oh, really?
But then I got to wrestle you. You had Medusa. You came out with Medusa. And I actually watched that match not too long ago, and it was a pretty decent match. But what I do remember, me being, I consider myself the younger guy because you were in WCW, you were the Cruiserweight champ at the time. But I remember I did get blowed up, but I prided myself on being in good cardio shape. And I remember, I'm not trying to put you on the spot or nothing, but I remember you kind of lost your spot, and then I told you what was going on, and then we got back into the match.
Hey, man, listen, I was known to lose my spot, because honestly, when I started wrestling, I didn't know about all the spots and all this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Didn't have to memorize stuff.
Nah. So I would rather it be, you go in there like old school and work a match. And then all of a sudden, everything was spot this and spot that. Yeah. And I was like, man,
I didn't necessarily like that either, man, because I don't know how some of these guys do some of their matches.
Yeah, I think that's another reason I think that when I left, I never looked back because if it were more like it old school, I'd probably stayed around more, a little longer. But with memorizing the spots and all that stuff and dealing with the politics and I just thought, I got kids to feed, man. I ain't got time to be guessing around here. I got to go make some money.
Yeah, I got you. So that was kind of a big moment for me because I remember, it was on the board and it had, Evan Karagias wrestling Allan Funk, and I was like all excited, and it was kind of a cool moment for me. That was other than Kaz Hayashi, you were because I always work with the power plant guys because they didn't want us to, they were trying to give us exposure. It didn't want us to, screw shit up because they're giving us TV time, which is understandable. But then, a couple of us, they let go out a little bit where they had a little more confidence in them and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, man, I was excited to wrestle you that night. And so then I started wrestling more, more names out of the power plant than just wrestling the power plant guys after you and Kaz.
I'll tell you though, man, I do remember Vail, and I remember literally feeling like my lungs were burning up there.
Dude, my legs felt like they were 100 pounds apiece.
Yeah. Everything. I mean, I've never blown up anywhere like I did in Vail.
Oh, dude, yeah, it was brutal. It was kind of, I remember it was a real small arena. And it was cold as shit in there. Yeah. But and I always remembered like some of these arenas we wrestled in, and I'm thinking, this is WCW, man. Like either you're going here to the WWE and we're wrestling in this little shitty arena with no heat in it. And I'm thinking, can't you do any better, WCW?
Some of the hockey rinks were the worst to perform in.
Yeah, I was talking about this with Donna Seaman. You remember Donna Seaman from the offices?
Yeah.
And I think it was Rick Cornell. We were talking about this. Do you remember we were out in like Wyoming or somewhere? We wrestled in like a fucking rodeo place. And they had the wooden floor and it smelled like cow shit.
Dirt floors, wasn't it? And they had
it was dirt floors. Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, it was in New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Yes. And I don't remember the name of the arena, but I remember walking in this place going, what the fuck? And then they taped an E special with the women of WCW, and of course Charmel was with me at the time. So I remember they were recording this E special, and they came in this arena. I'm thinking these fucking people for me got to think this is the shadiest fucking organization. They're in a damn arena with dirt floors and horse shit everywhere, and they're trying to film an E special with these girls. I remember laughing at that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, they did some stuff on the fly, that's for sure.
God dang, bro. Like, I mean, I understand saving some money, but bro, at least put us in an arena with fucking floors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because shit, I remember that arena like it was yesterday, and I could just remember smelling that cow shit, and the locker rooms were shitty. So I wondered if anybody else remembered that fucking arena.
Oh, I remember the dirt floors for sure.
Yeah. And then I remember they didn't even have, and they did a house show there, and then they did the Nitro there, I think. And they didn't even have fucking pads on the floor. Like if you went outside the ring, you were actually on the dirt.
Yeah, I remember. And because they had the wooden walls or something around.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Kind of like the horse fucking stall.
Yeah, it was like a rodeo place.
Yeah, I could not believe they wrestled there. And I wonder if I always wonder if WWE does stuff like that, which I doubt it anymore, but they might have back in the day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was, WWE, I hadn't been up on it lately,
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
So do you want to tell the story about? Well, you know what? Let's talk about. You want to talk about how when we went from WCW up to Heartland Wrestling with Les Thatcher? What do you remember about all that crap?
Man, it was terrible for me, because I was so stressed. First of all, I mean, here I had a house in North Carolina, and then I moved up there, and they told me it was just going to be, a couple of weeks, maybe a month at most. After 6 months, I'm like, I wasn't going to, to keep my family, you know what I mean? I wasn't going to live separate from the wife and the kids. So I ended up moving them there. And then, as soon as I got in and got settled, it wasn't even a month later, they let us go, So to me, that was a pretty shitty move. And it was really shitty on Johnny Ace's part. And I don't care what the boss says, in a sense, try to pull some strings. And that was because, Johnny Ace, the same guy that was trying to get on at WCW and pretty
Asking
much
you for a favor,
pretty much begging me to talk to Kevin and Scott, because we were running at the time with them, or I was, and Johnny wanted to, put a word in, man. I'm trying to get on here. And, so I'm thinking, here, this guy, I put a word in for him, but yet, it was kind of messed up, man. But
and that's what I don't miss about the wrestling business, is shit like that.
Yeah, if I learned anything, don't trust anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because they'll all, and I feel like that's the difference between what I was saying earlier, our generation. This group here that we're talking about from the power plant, it's not about names and egos and who's got the most belts, who's wrestled the most, who got the most TV time. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
To me, it's now we're talking about guys that are being reunited, and it shows who they are and what they stand for as a person.
Yeah. But like I said, this power plant Hall of Fame thing, it hasn't been nothing but positive. Now we got a couple guys that don't really think it's that great or whatever, but you know what? You're gonna have haters wherever, and if they want to be a part of it, then great. If not, then that's their choice.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, what? Obviously, they feel too good. I don't know who it is, but they feel too good if that's the case. You know?
Yeah. Now we got a couple guys who are just trying to. They don't like the anonymous committee type thing or whatever, but you know what? I don't care who started it. It's a positive thing, and it's good for all of us.
That's it. My question is, what's the intention behind it? It's all good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far it has been. So I don't have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But now that we're talking about Cincinnati, there's a couple different things I remember about Cincinnati. I remember one, you got your hair ripped out by somebody at a match.
Yeah.
From what I remember, you were pretty hot.
Oh, I was pissed.
How did so you had your dreadlocks in? We used to wear long hair, and you had your braids.
At the time it was cornrowed halfway and then braided off the hair long in the back.
Okay.
And I was, letting them. They two guys. I don't even remember their names, to be honest, man. They're blonde-headed guys. One of them's a big muscle guy, but they, were doing a double team. One had my wrist and my ankle.
Yeah.
The other one did, and they were going to swing me and give me a big back bump.
Yeah.
The guy's standing on my hair, man, and as soon as they just ripped, so it ripped all the way forward. And I mean, there's one little piece right here holding, and this whole braid's down here. My head's bleeding and shit.
I remember your head bleeding, yeah.
Yeah, and I was thinking, shit, I don't even know if the hair's going to grow back, But obviously, I had enough. It grew back. But dude, I was hot, man. I remember throwing chairs and just raising hell back there.
Yeah, I remember. I was thinking, oh shit, someone's getting their ass whooped. But so you never had to whoop anybody's ass. You just let them know you were pissed off, huh?
Yeah, man. They were. I mean, they apologized and were just because they weren't even. You know what I mean? Like, I think they were guys from Les's.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Was it one of the guys named Chet Jablowski or? And I think I'm friends with one of the guys on Instagram. Shit.
I mean, listen, they were pretty cool guys, man. I mean, but that shit was careless and it just pissed me off at the time. Yeah. I'm sure it was an accident, you know what I mean? But I didn't care back then,
Yeah.
I was just hot, man, raising hell.
But so first, let's drop back a little bit to let's circle back to when we started down there. So Johnny Ace called you and told you were going to have to go up to Cincinnati. Is that how that worked?
No, I think on to go to Cincinnati, I'm not sure, man. I'm trying to think who it was. Probably Terry Taylor or maybe Johnny Ace that told me as far as going to Cincinnati. I don't remember exactly who told me. I just remember going, because I went up there first and in the little motel. It's got a kitchen. I'm trying.
Yeah, that's where we were all staying when we first got there.
Yeah, extended stay or something. I was up there in one of those for a long time, and then
so it was me and Rick and Jamie Noble shared one.
Yeah, then I decided to, that's when I said I'm gonna go for it and just move everybody up here. Rent an apartment, move there. Still had a house payment in North Carolina. Really making it a tight situation in order to try to keep my family together too.
Yeah. Now you stayed in the apartments where the rest of us were staying afterwards, where Jimmy Yang got a connection from his girlfriend, from the girl he started dating.
Yeah, that was I was there before that, I think.
Oh, okay, so it just happened to be a coincidence that he met this girl at the same apartments.
Yeah. No, I've never met the girl or.
Yeah, I think her name was Amy. I think that's actually who he had his daughter with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. So he met her, and then she gave us a hookup where we weren't even paying rent.
Oh, sweet, man.
So you didn't get that deal?
Nah, hell no. I think I'd already gone.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think you were still there because when we still got an apartment, I believe now you became pretty good friends with Russ Haas then.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the other reason to me. Everything was. It was a little bit of a bad memory there because Russ and I were best friends, man, and then he died, and I remember seeing him have the damn heart attack right in front of me because I was moving in the apartment, and y'all did a show up they did up in Louisville.
Okay.
And he's had just helped me move a couch in, and he's going, I don't know, man. He's stretching. And he said, it's weird tonight in the ring. I had this pain in my chest and in my back. And he went to stretch over this wall, and then his arm just shot out and went straight into a heart attack, man. It was, and I thought
that's not the day he passed away, is it? Or is that?
No, that wasn't the day he passed away.
Okay.
No. And I remember, me and his wife, Deidre, and my wife, Jen, were there, and he's sweating. It's coming off his elbows and everything. And ended up where, Charlie didn't want to take him to the hospital. He's like, shake it off. You'll be fine. Because their debut was Thursday. And this was on I think a Saturday or something, and later on after Charlie left, me and Deidre packed him up and drove him to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
And he was having another heart attack sitting in the waiting room when they hooked him up on the machines.
Damn.
Yeah.
But so then he came home then though, right?
Yeah. Eventually he came back home, and, they had went and did a balloon on him to clean out his artery. And honestly, I think they cleaned out the wrong one or it didn't work or something, but they ended up releasing him to go back to wrestle 6 months later. And then 2 days after that, another heart attack, he died.
Damn. Now, I heard a bunch of rumors. I was at the apartments that day. I remember I think me and Jamie Noble just got back from the gym. We seen all the ambulances and the fire trucks and the police cars there, and we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
And then, is it true? I mean, I heard some rumors about the dogs started eating him. Is that true?
I don't know about eating him, man. I'm sure the dog probably tried to lick him to get him up or something. You know what I mean? Wake the owner up. The dog was a puppy, literally.
Well, they had a litter from what did they have a litter or just one dog?
My dog actually had the litter.
Oh, okay.
And they took one of the pups.
Well, you know how you hear all this shit. And,
yeah.
I heard they had dog in there and it was eating his genitalia and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't know about all that. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
plus, I don't know what would say. I mean, they wouldn't let anybody in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To know that, so I don't know.
Yeah, but his wife actually came home from shopping or whatever and found him, right?
No, she woke up. I think she woke up that morning and found him.
Yeah, see, I heard all kinds of different stuff,
Yeah.
But that was one of the bad memories from down there for sure.
Right.
Russ was a real good dude, man.
He was cool as all, man. And you know, a lot of, I don't know, when I first went there, man, a lot of the guys, the other group didn't really like me, you know, or care for us. And I don't know if it's because,
Well, you mean the Memphis guys?
yeah, the Memphis guys.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know what the reason was, but Russ and I became tight. And I just remember he stood up for me when I wasn't there in front of all of them and called them out, you know. And
Oh,
yeah, so that, I mean, in a way, it kind of brought more heat. But man, he wrestled at Seton Hall, you know, I wrestled at NC State. We were boys, you know, just got
yeah.
along. Everything went good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I always got along with Charlie and Russ, and then Charlie actually was dating my old sister-in-law. I married the girl that I married. She was actually used to be married to her Donna. You remember Donna that was dating Charlie?
Yeah, I think it's a blonde muscle girl.
Yeah, yeah. She was down in OVW.
Okay, yeah.
She was actually married to my ex-wife's brother.
Wow.
So, and that's how I became a little closer to Charlie, because actually I still talk to Donna to this day. So,
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because I always kept in touch with her. Her and Charlie moved out to Texas, and so I always stayed in touch with her.
So is she still with Charlie?
No, she's back in Ohio. I think
Okay.
she's engaged to somebody else.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, because Charlie, well, after they got divorced and stuff, Charlie married that Jackie Guida, or what was her name? Jackie Guida, or whatever her name was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember her. Yeah.
And I think they had a couple kids and stuff. And then I'm pretty sure they got divorced now. So, but not Evan Courageous. He's been with his wife for 25 years, getting the beer, you know, telling her what, doing all the good stuff.
That's right. No, I've been very lucky, man. I'll tell you that. Anybody that put up with me 25 years, you know, you got to give it to them.
Now, does your wife go hunting with you?
No, that's one thing I could not get her to do.
Man.
But here's what I did. I bought her this new big fancy camera or whatever. So thinking maybe next year she'll go out with me, and you know, she likes taking pictures and stuff and painting them.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
So maybe she'll videotape a hunt and get you getting a good 10-pointer. That way you can have her, you know, do some artwork with a 10-pointer.
That's right.
And then you can rub it in your kid. Well, you know what? Let's go with about a 12-pointer. That way you can rub it in your kid's face.
Shit, it'd be nice, man. I have to go up to Ohio for that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're down there. You gotta be lucky enough to know where they're at.
I'll tell you though, where I'm at right now, the woods are disappearing as we talk. It's
they're building everything, right?
Everything, man. Yeah. Matter of fact, there's no land in Charlotte to build in the city anyway, unless you tear something down or build on top of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, so I talked to Rick Cornell. Reno was supposed to be on here with us today. He was actually on, then something happened with his damn internet because of his house. But he's actually moving to Charlotte. Sweet. So he's trying to talk me into moving to Charlotte up. So, you know, so we can hang out, you know.
Yeah, man. If you can live anywhere, you should. I don't know. Well, when you look at the governor and stuff, I don't want to get into that side, but you know what I mean.
So the governor up there he's not too conservative.
Not at all.
Yeah, I get you. No. Yeah, I don't know but you know what? You guys got good. You can get your carry license and all that good stuff up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, everybody. I mean, there's a lot of. This is like we're like a country little town but I'm 15 minutes from the Charlotte airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So believe me, everybody hunts. Everybody's got their carries. It's nice though. You don't walk around worrying about something. You know what I mean?
Well, that's how it is in Atlanta mostly. Where I live in a Paulding County, which is a little kind of country.
Yeah.
And, pretty much everybody carries out here.
Yeah. Same here.
But Donna Seaman, it's funny because her and her sister from WCW, they were in the office. Well, her sister wasn't Debbie, but Donna was. So they both carry. And because they were asking me when I was up there a couple weeks ago if I carried, I'm like, yeah, I got, you know, I actually had 2 guns in the car, but I didn't know how they felt about it and this and that. So I just kept my, I put it in my lockbox in my car because I didn't want to, you know, because you know some women are scared of guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Some people get little, you know, and I don't know. I try not to, you know, if I'm drinking or something out, I try not to because it'd be my luck. I'll be the one that gets pulled and or not pulled, but goes to jail. Somebody, hey, he's got a gun on him. He's had something to drink, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I
But
leave
so
it-
in Atlanta, we just got to go to the courthouse, to the magistrate court. It's like $84 or something like that, and then you get your background check, and then you get your license in the mail. But in
Yeah.
Ohio now, you got to take an actual gun. You have to go to the range and shoot like maybe I think 7 to 15 rounds at like 10, 15 yards or 5 yards, and then you can get your license.
Oh, really?
How's it in Charlotte?
It's here the same way. They got where you got to take a test and all that, and show them you loaded, unloaded, all these things, you know.
Oh, okay, I got
Pretty
you. I
much
got you.
the same. Yeah.
But yeah, I've taken an 80-hour firearm course because I actually used to carry at my job. I was a armed security officer.
Oh, really?
So I had to, I had to go. I actually had to do the GSAT course, which is the Georgia semi-automatic course that all the police take around, in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, and we actually had to qualify higher than the police departments because we were always inside the building.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
How was that job though?
You know what? It was good. I fought with a lot of mental health people that were brought into the hospitals.
Oh, really?
So, the cops, we were trained to deal with the mental health more than the cops were. So once the cops brought the mental health patients in there, they kind of just said, we're leaving them with you. Here you go. And then some days I'd have knockdown, drag out wars where, I've broken fingers and arms and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I know.
So it was pretty fun.
That sounds like sounds a little bit like my older son, man. Being a Charlotte firefighter, I mean, some of the people they have to deal with that are on drugs or either, usually it's on drugs, man.
So when he gets a call, people don't realize the danger that those people are put in because of the situations like that.
Yeah, you'll show up and next thing you know, guy's got 2 machetes in his hand.
Dude,
like,
trust me. My girlfriend was an EMT, so I always got the horror stories, and she actually got stabbed.
Wow.
So people don't realize that the first responders that that aren't police officers, just because you're an EMT means you're a first responder. That doesn't mean the police are going to get there before you.
And that's what drives me crazy as a dad sometimes, because I know they get there first. The fire department gets there first.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to carry.
Yeah.
So, now they got them, some of them, they got Kevlar vests when they have to go in certain areas, but they can't carry. So I'm like,
right.
That,
Yeah, they got to try to talk their way out of it because they're really not allowed to do anything else.
Yeah.
Which, your son having that amateur background, that'll help him out a little bit.
Yeah, no, he's solid, man. He's talking about a workhorse. You would have thought he went through the power plant because he grinds, man. He doesn't dodge anything.
No, I'm sure he probably could make it, knowing his dad. So he's probably got the same mentality, which is good because he was pretty successful wrestler, right?
Yeah. No, he was, and all my kids really have been really successful as far as wrestling. And my 2 younger ones are still grinding. I got one that's a junior in high school, the other one's a senior. The senior,
and your other one just won a tournament the other day, right?
Yeah, the junior, he won a pretty big tournament for down here for early season, a 32 bracket tournament. Won the gold and the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I saw the picture you posted. So he actually got to keep the cowboy hat?
Yeah. So he won that, and then my other one is the one who won the state champion last year.
Okay.
He's recovering from knee surgery, but he'll be back in the next 3 weeks or so, something like that, maybe 4. I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome. So he's probably jealous. He wants the cowboy hat.
He's got the big ring.
Yeah. So is that a gold cowboy hat, or what kind of hat's that?
It's I don't know on that. It's a white cowboy hat. I don't know much about them, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're always posting pictures of your kids winning stuff, man. So that's awesome as a dad, seeing your kids have that success.
Yeah, I feel like, man, I've done my time as far as it was more TV stuff back then. Today, social media is like now. It's not even about TV. If you got so many hits on your social media, you're a celebrity.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, who is he? What did he do? I don't.
Right.
I just think a little different than the new generation. But
well, dude, there's these people. They're making a good living just posting shit on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Kind of. I always talk about it a lot with the guys on my podcast. Like, unfortunately, guys like me and you back in the day, if we would have had that social media outlet that
Yeah.
we could have probably, because I know there's people, and I always use her as an example, not that she's not a good worker or nothing, but Natalia Neidhart. Like, she's really good about getting on Instagram and really posting stuff and getting fans behind her. And that's probably helped her keep her job as long as she's had it in WWE,
Well, I'm
which
gonna tell you,
is great.
who, to me, the king of all that, the leader of it, and even like he was at the end of his career when social media really started coming out, but he was on it back then, and that's Shane Helms.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
He's all over that stuff, man.
Yeah, because he had a good podcast he started, but he ended up getting rid of his podcast. But yeah, he's always on social media.
Yeah, no, he definitely stays up on that stuff. See, I'm just not that guy, man. I get bored with it too fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I like following on Instagram. I don't really get on Facebook much because there's too much drama on Facebook, but there's a lot of good stuff that you can follow. Like if you follow, working out and, stuff where you can watch these people, you learn stuff on these sites.
Yeah.
So it's good for me in that sense, but I'm I go home to Ohio and miss, I don't take pictures like all these other people. And I would love to have some of the old pictures of like, when we were in WCW, a picture with you and, Steiners and Nash and Hall and all these guys where, we never had that back then.
I know. If we only knew everything was going, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, right? Because, on these Throwback Thursdays, I could be posting pictures of me and Hogan and, me and you and 3 Count and, all that good stuff.
Yep. No, I know. I feel like I have limited pictures too because I never took them back then. Even when we had cell phones, we didn't take them because it was just. I think it was all the locker room just seemed the egos, man, almost.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to take a picture with you.
Exactly, or you felt like they're going to think they're better than you.
Yeah, you're going to feel like a mark because you want to ask them for a picture.
I just want to be equal ground, man. I don't care. You know what I mean? It's something to show my grandkids.
Yeah, right. No kidding, right? So, yeah, I don't have too many. It's funny. I remember we were in Cincinnati. The person that was so big on buying, he had a phone that you could actually have when someone called you, their picture show up. Remember Jason Jett?
Yeah, I remember Jason.
He had that phone to where I remember Shannon Moore got one then. So when I called him, he had a picture of me on. I thought that was the coolest thing back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, holy shit, easy money making all this money. He's making more money than me. You got this phone where you see a picture of me.
Yeah. I remember the phones, man. But see, like I said, I didn't have the patience for them, man, because I get bored with that and my mind's going somewhere else. I got to be on the move doing something.
Yeah. I'm not too, and like we talked about earlier, where everybody's got their phone stuck up their ass nowadays, and when they don't text you back or call you back, they're just ignoring you because there's no other reason for
it. Yeah.
Hey, Jen, give me another beer, would you?
Yeah, me too, please.
I think the boys just pulled in the driveway with another deer.
Oh, they got another deer? So they went without you today?
Yeah.
Oh,
they don't get to hunt that much anymore because, the weekends and normally the last 2 years we haven't hunted because Zach's cutting weight and then, or both of them really, but mainly Zach was the one cutting weight and we'd get up so early to get there. 2 practices and all that. Next thing you know, man, your immune's breaking down. You're starting to get sick. So I figured out that if we don't do it like that, you end up doing better. I said, you got your whole life to hunt, but now he's recovering from knee surgery. He can go out there and hunt because he can't really do but limited.
Yeah, I got you. Well, that's cool, man. You guys get to hunt now, and you get to go out there all day, and then you get to watch your sons get a 10-pointer while you're carrying nothing back, right?
Yeah. Hey, the second one, man, I was 20 yards from him. Watched the whole thing because I knew it was a tight little pinch area, but so I got to at least watch the whole thing.
So now, what are you hunting with, a bow or are you hunting with a rifle?
Bow and arrow. Yeah.
Okay. So you got an actual bow. You don't have a crossbow.
No, we hunt actual bows.
Yeah. What kind of bow do you use?
I've got a Hoyt, and
how many pounds is it?
Mine is 60.
Okay.
Really, I had the Matthews Monster. It was a 70-pound pool, but Zach's took over that bow, and I used the Hoyt.
I got you. Right. So now there's differing opinions on it. Do you ever follow Cam Haynes? You know who he is?
No.
You don't know who Cam Haynes is? He's a bow hunter that runs, and he's always doing stuff with Under Armour.
No, but
He's on like Joe Rogan's podcast a lot.
Yeah, nah, man. But I told you I'm not good with names at all. So
you got to look this guy up, man. Cameron
okay.
Haynes. They call him Cam Haynes. He's real big in I think he's got his bow set at like 90 or 95 pounds now.
Oh yeah.
So hitting something, man, is like getting hit with a damn cannon.
Oh yeah.
Hitting it with 95-pound bow.
The speed, man. To me, the speed's what's important.
Yeah.
As far as shooting the big ones.
Yeah.
I'm not wild about the little 60-pound pull just because of that.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a light up knock, man, they see it.
Yeah.
Just a little flinch and it's over the shoulder.
And that's how you think you missed your last year, you told me, right?
Yeah, I really do, man. I mean, which he was already nervous coming in, like, I don't know if he was in another Bucks territory or what the deal was, but he was skittish. And it was a bright knock on it, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he saw it.
So I haven't been bow hunting yet, but I bought a Bowtech about a year and a half ago, I guess. And it's at 70 pounds. So I just go outside and practice with it and stuff. But I've never went hunting with it yet because I don't feel like I'm confident enough with it yet to hunt with it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, if I want to shoot something, I want to make sure I kill it, not just injure it and, make it suffer.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm just not comfortable yet.
Most of the time, I mean, if you hit it in the vitals, it's gonna die. The problem most people do is they get down too early and go look for it, and then it jumps up, moves on, but it eventually dies most of the time. So you just got to be patient and wait before you go looking for it, unless you see him drop.
I'm good without. Because my brother told me, he goes, now when you go hunting with his bow, make sure you shoot a deer within 20 yards. Because I'm pretty good at 40 yards with my bow, but I don't have a live deer. My brother said the first time he ever went bow hunting, and that's why I'm kind of skittish. He said he couldn't even pull his damn bow back because he had so much adrenaline. He's like, oh God, I got to get this deer. And he said, he goes, I could not pull my damn bow back. That's why he bought a crossbow. But he's like, I was so scared and nervous that I couldn't even freaking shoot it.
Really?
Yeah. So he said, you got to, and that'd probably be me too, because I get excited like that.
Man, well, I get excited, but I don't know. It's different. It's not to kill, man. It's just, I've been doing it a while, man. I got a little system because I try to stand up most of the time. I'll sit down maybe a few minutes, but I've got it even where when I stand up, I can draw back at the same time if I need to.
Yeah.
I just love bow hunting, man. I really do.
Well, it's a lot more challenging than shooting with a rifle, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's the other thing, the noise with the rifles. That's why I'm not big on all that bang in your ear.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But you can always put your suppressor on there so you don't get the kick and the sound, right?
That's right. I would like to check out some of these, these new crossbows. I've thought about, getting one.
And they're nice, man.
It's because they're so narrow, man. I wouldn't want the real wide ones. And if you're trying to hike in through a bunch of thick brush and stuff, those wide ones get caught on stuff and make noise. And, so
Well, I ain't tramping through no big brush until it gets cold outside. I ain't stepping on a snake.
But hey, I heard last year anyway. I don't know about this year, but last year up in Ohio, I heard the ticks were like ridiculous.
Yeah, ticks are bad in Ohio. When I was a kid, I had blonde hair, and everybody always told me the ticks were attracted to blonde hair. And I tell you what, man, I'd go in the woods all the time as a kid. Not like these kids now sitting at a computer all day or playing games. We actually went outside. Right. I used to dig ticks off me. My mom would have to pull ticks off me all damn day.
Yeah, but something's up with them, man. Because I heard in this one town or county, people were getting a lot of people getting sick, bad sick. Where
like Lyme disease and shit.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't need any of that stuff.
It wasn't around where we grew up because my brother would have, probably told me about all that. But
yeah.
But so we're coming up on an hour. I told you these things go fast, Evan.
They do.
Yeah. So it's been 58 or 59 minutes right now. So you're out of wrestling totally. You're not doing no matches. You're not doing no special appearances anywhere or anything.
No. I haven't been. I just, man, like back to that social media thing. I don't feel like chasing it. I don't want to play games. I don't want to worry if I say I'm going to do this price. I don't want to deal with negotiating stuff.
Yeah. I know a guy in New York that might want to use you if you're interested. actually Shannon just did something with him a couple weeks ago up in New York.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're interested, I can put a word in for you if you want to go to one of these. Like he does these autograph signing stuff. He had a bunch of guys from WCW, like me and Sanders, Jindrak, Crowbar, and
Right.
Nick Patrick went up there.
Well, I was
one day.
talking to, I think Shannon had called me on that and said something about doing something up there. And I told Shannon, I'd do it if that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people ask you about 3 count all the time, don't you? And doing something.
Yeah. I mean, well, not necessarily, not anymore, but I'm not available. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't mess with the internet on that kind of. I just, I'm the guy. Pick the phone up and call me if you want to talk to me.
Yeah, right. And they do these virtual signs too, where you can do it from your house. Where they'll have people on this virtual signing. They'll say, "Hey, sign me an autograph to Allan, Evan," and then you'll sign to Allan or whatever, and then they'll send it to them, and then you get paid for that.
Yeah.
So I've done a couple of those too.
Have you?
Yeah. And they're pretty cool. You get to talk to people, and it's always cool to meet fans that still know who you are and stuff.
Right. And man, for me though, another reason I've got with all the kids, man, we're in and out, dogs barking, going to this wrestling match, going to that one, hunting. We stay busy,
Yeah.
nonstop. But I would be, mainly January through April 15th. I don't even answer emails, because it's tax season and that's what I do now. So I'm grinding, man.
Yeah, I got you. So you told me you took tax business over from your parents, is that right?
No, they have one. They have their office, and
okay.
Originally, I was going to try to go work for them, and then this other office came for sale, so I bought it, and I've been grinding ever since, man.
I got you. Yeah, it's cool, man, that you can stay busy, and then you still got time to hunt and all that kind of stuff, which is good.
Yeah, catch up, but I get all my preseason work done at the end of my tax seasons just for that purpose, because wrestling, it used to be hunting season. I prepared for. Now it's pretty much we're traveling wrestling. So
yeah, I got you. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, good luck to your kids, man. I hope your other boy recovers from his knee and gets back in there real soon and get you another cowboy hat and another ring.
That's right. I appreciate it.
So yeah, Evan. So if usually I have guys promote stuff, or like I never really have much to promote either. So I don't, but
I promote my kids.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a proud dad right there, man.
Yeah,
you got to promote your kids, right? Don't forget your wife now, putting up with you for 25 years.
Absolutely.
and she's already got you 2 beers since we started this podcast, and that's 2 more than I've gotten somebody to get me.
Yeah, and I got daddy's little girl too, but I don't talk about her too much because I'm just real protective of her. But
yeah, I guess it's kind of like Hogan and with Brooke.
Yeah, right.
Evan knows best, right? Don't mess with my daughter.
Hey man, I just try to guide them and let them make their own.
Trust
decision.
me, you don't want Evan pissed off at you. I seen him almost smack Bill Goldberg around. Jamie Noble called me up a couple weeks ago when I had that incident with Bagwell. Did I tell you this story? And he goes, man, I've been telling all these people up here in WWE, Allan Funk's one of the toughest sumbitches I know, and then you let Bagwell punk you out like that. I was like, God dang it.
How is Jamie doing?
He's a mess, but he's doing pretty good, man. He's got a pretty good spot in WWE, man. Dean helped him, get up there and stuff, and he's really pulled through, and he's in a good spot up there, man. I guess he's making a little bit of money. So, and I'm always happy with guys that I came through the business with, man. I'm always happy for them to keep going. If they're still making money and doing stuff, I'm, like all these other guys, they get pissed. Fuck, he's still up there. What's he doing up there?
Right. Yeah. But, I know what you're saying. No, man,
I love it.
I do too. And I didn't realize Jamie was still working for WWE.
Yeah, man, he does.
But man, with all the cruiserweights, especially the ones that we've worked with, I take my hat off to all of them. They all busted their ass. Everybody from Ray and Hoovy to my 2 tag team partners to the Young Dragons to all these guys, man. Everybody busted their ass.
Dude, we had to try to keep a job. We got every day they remind us that we could lose our fucking job. That shit ain't fun.
that was the worst part about the job. You know, they
Yeah.
lost a lot of character and charisma because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I
Because
believe it too. Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's the, in my opinion, the ultimate biggest mistake either one of those companies have made as far as grooming talent. You can't groom them with fear. You know.
Well, look at all the guys they just got rid of up there, man. They just got rid of a bunch more at that NXT, man. So it's like you don't really have any incentive because you're afraid to lose your damn job every day.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
But they did have a lot of guys up in WWE, and they had like over 200 people in that NXT, man. So they were having to get rid of some people.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I bet so, man. I mean,
And they're only using like 40 guys on the roster, and you got 200 guys, man. I mean, something's got to give. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know why they'd sign that. I mean, well, you know why they're stopping them from going somewhere else.
Well, yeah, they don't want a lot of guys going to AEW, but you know, even with that, only so many guys can go to AEW. I mean, they got too many guys as it is, and AEW is going to run into the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an old WCW all over again.
Well, if it's that good, I mean, if it goes like that, it might not be so bad if the show's like that. I hadn't watched the show.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, as far as like, you got too many guys on the roster, and you're paying all this money out, and you're not, you know, Tony Khan might be a millionaire,
yeah,
but he's in the business to make money, not lose money.
Right. Yeah.
So eventually, it's going to catch up with him, I think.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize you were talking just business, but yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm talking just business wise. You know, it is a business, so you gotta treat it like that. But I know Tony Khan, his dad. I think his dad's only going to let him lose so much money before he actually steps in and says, you know, what the hell are you doing here, kid?
Yeah.
You know.
See, I don't know the background with that, with the owner or.
Well, that's just my opinion from what I know of it.
Yeah, but I'm saying I didn't even know who owned it.
Yeah, Tony Khan, the guy, he owns the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
And him and his dad, and then they own a soccer team over in Europe, I believe.
Oh.
So they both have several $1 million, but you know, they're doing a lot better since they were able to start their live shows up there. But you know, during the COVID stuff where they weren't doing live shows, man, you know, they still had the roster and they were still paying out contracts. So you know, after a while, you gotta get a return on your money. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And they're getting all these guys that are getting released from WWE, and they're paying them this big money, I hear. So, you know, something's got to give.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. But you know, there's just too many factors, man, to know. But yeah, but you can't just have a bunch of guys sitting over there getting paid and not working.
Yeah, I got you. So I got an idea, Evan. I got since we started this Power Plant Hall of Fame, I'm going to try to get a hold of Scott D'Amore up there in Impact and have him do an angle with the old Power Plant guys from the Hall of Fame, and you know, maybe do a run in and beat the shit out of some of those guys.
Yeah, no, that would be sweet, man.
So hopefully he'll watch his podcast, because I'm going to try to get him on here and see if he can work something out with us.
That'd be great, man. Let's do it. We'll go in there.
You know, me, you, Dale Torberg, and Chad Fortune, Horseshoe, and you know, some guys like that.
Palumbo or somebody, you know.
Yeah. I forgot about Palumbo. Yeah, we won't do Jindrak because he's a little, you know, he's too. Him and Kid Romeo, you know, they're. We'll keep him out of this round. So yeah, so we're over an hour now, man. But I want to, you know, thank you so much for coming on here, man, and taking your day off deer hunting so you can, you know, waste your time with little old Allan Funk here.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate everything, Allan. You know, it's an honor for me. I mean, to even be considered, for y'all to think about me or the committee. So I appreciate everything, and you know, we'll do it again, man.
Yeah, man. When you get your ring, come on here and we'll both flaunt our rings off a little bit.
Absolutely.
Because I ordered mine the day I found out about it. So I don't know anybody that got the ring yet, but I can't wait to get mine.
No, I know. I'm excited too.
So, all right, Evan. Well, hey, don't go anywhere. I'm going to play this little quick video here, and then I don't want to just leave you hanging. So just hold on with me for about 30 seconds. I'll be right back with you.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to Evan Karagias on the Get Funk podcast, with the brought to you by the MWA Podcast Network. So don't forget, I'm on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. on YouTube or Twitch, or you can get me anywhere you get your podcast: Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, all the good stuff. So check me out, Get Funked on the MWA World Podcast Network. And Evan, again, thanks for stopping by, brother.
All right, man. Thanks, Allan.
I'll see you in a second, man.